best anyway. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Pisces.
Oh, look at all these people. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, that's
So we
great.
have Colleen in the house, Cool Crone. That's the
Hello.
name of your YouTube, right?
Right, the cool crone. Yeah, that's me.
And then do you do readings?
Oh, yeah, I do. I do readings.
How do we get a hold of you for
There's
reading?
a website, thecoolcrone.com. You just go to my website and go to book a reading, or you can look at the services to look over the stuff. You can book and pay and schedule everything right there.
And that's the name of your YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, it's the same. And I do both astrology and cards. I do past life readings. And you'll see when they go to the
have
website.
to set myself up with something, girlfriend.
Yeah. No problem. No
I'm
problem.
going to definitely schedule with you.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, because I don't take free. I don't like people reading me for free, and which they always offer. I just say no. Let me pay for just a little reading, get a taste of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy Arthur was pretty good.
Yes, he was very good. You've had a lot of really new, really like brandy new to YouTube. You've had a lot of new people on lately, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's a whole other wave of all these new people coming. It's great.
Right.
It is great because everybody likes a different kind of reader. Like one reader isn't going to appeal to everybody 100%. And all these readers are so gifted.
I know.
I'm just blown away. They have things that I would never even think of doing. And they're just like, yeah. And they just rattle off all these wonderful predictions. And they're just amazing.
Listen, I did a mediumship with Emmett Till.
I read it. I mean, I heard it.
Mm-hmm. And then John McCain said Thursday was going to be something. He was right. And so did Arthur. Arthur said the 27th, there's going to be some big news.
Yep.
I forgot about his, but he wrote me and said, I don't mean to brag, but.
Yeah, I know. When we've been doing some of these things, I've been going back and looking like at my astrology videos and going, did I say that was a day that was going to, yeah, because right. July and August, I know, are just, power packed months. They just have so much going on. And we still got more to go with the full moon's on August 1st. And something's going to be happening then. That's Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something big's going to happen then.
In Texas, that's where my cousin Sue lives.
Woo.
And listen, girlfriend, they have he's a what do you call tax person.
Mm-hmm.
And next time I go out there's a pizza place down there that's some of the best pizza I've ever had in McKinney, Texas. She probably knows the name of it.
Go figure.
So, okay. So, technically we can start now. Hi, Kevin. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. 615 in the room already.
Nice. Very nice.
Ron, I love me some Ron.
Oh, there's somebody from Western Washington. I'm from Western Washington.
You're from Washington?
I'm from Seattle. Yeah, I was born and raised in Seattle. But now I'm on the East Coast. So.
Oh, whereabouts on the East Coast?
I'm in New Jersey.
I'm in northern. Why did you go to New Jersey?
Well, first I came to New York to go to school to be an actress, to be a star. And then I went back to Seattle for a little while. And then I came back out to Philadelphia to go to graduate school for acting because, again, I was going to be a star. And then I ended up meeting my husband and I moved to New York with him. And then I moved down to New Jersey with my second husband. So,
okay. You're like me. You've gone through a couple of husbands?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A couple.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, excuse me, next.
Yeah, exactly.
I was on today with Allie.
Oh, yeah. I saw part of it. That was good.
She said, she was asking these questions. She said, so what do you think God will say to you when you meet him? What's the word that God's going to say when you first meet him? I said, next. And then she said, what's your favorite word? What's your favorite word to hear? I got to be answering the truth. I said, dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Island Princess. Hi, everybody. So good to have everybody. It's so cool. Oh, yes, KT. Gerard and I were married in 20. Oh, we're going to get married. You said 2024. Gerard Butler.
Yes.
I got a little crushy poo just about like this.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you gotta look towards the future. You can't be looking back all the time. You gotta look at the future and just say what you
and have
want.
some hope too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, okay, girlfriend. So you were gonna go ahead. You were gonna talk.
Okay. So I have a few charts that I can pull up and we can talk a little bit about them. And the first one, well, let's get Mr. T out of the way. So
Okay.
let me pull him up and then I'll share my screen. I'm going to put this over here. And let's see.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, RN.
That's good. And we'll move that. Okay. There we go. All right. And get rid of this. Sorry. Now, let me go back to us. And I'm going to present, share screen, screen share, entire screen. There we go.
Now, how long have you been doing this, Colleen?
Astrology, I actually started when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had my brother is 10 years older than me, and his first girlfriend was an astrologer, and she kind of I was already interested in it. So when I found out she was an astrologer, I was picking her brain. But then the woman he married was an actual professional astrologer, and she gave me lessons. So by the time I was 11 or 12, I was doing charts for people. Wow. And you know, an 11 or 12-year-old kid, what the heck could I have read that, you know, this was just coming out of me from like past lives, had to be. So that was how I started out. I've done it all my life. I have done it professionally off and on during raising my kids, but now I'm still working, so I'm not quite retired, but I am doing it now.
And isn't it amazing the new software they have?
Oh my gosh. I learned how to do it without a computer.
I remember doing that, going down and trying to figure out what's what.
The math took me 3 hours to do when you did it by hand. And I was a kid doing this. Don't ask me what I did in my regular math classes. I was doing the astrology math, but you know, it was crazy. But I had a lot of success with it. And I really, really like astrology. I get very excited about astrology.
That's great.
Yeah.
And are you like Andre? Andre really can see what's going on with somebody based on their chart.
I think he's at a higher level than me, honestly, because he's just doing it professionally all the time. I've had this, you know, in and out, raising kids, doing a couple divorces, doing that back, you know, like life, you know, right. I didn't have the luxury of just doing it. Not that that's luxurious, but, you know, right. I didn't have that. I've been back into doing it for about 3 years now. So everything's coming back and I feel very, you know, competent. But yeah, I can see with the planetary cycles kind of what's going on with people. And I do get a lot of psychic impressions when I'm doing a person's chart too.
The best reader I ever had in my whole life, who's now deceased, was Patricia McLean. She lived in Virginia. She was an astrologer and a psychic. And she told me when I was in my 30s that I would have 2 more children, 2 boys. They might even be twins or so. I thought she was out of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
I would be married 2 more times. And then when I was in my 60s, I would be thrown in the public eye. She saw me talking to people. She saw me being sought after. So I'm thinking Hollywood, right?
Right.
Oh, she must be. But what a shame. It's not till I'm in my 60s. Boy, was she right.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. So did I share the screen? Yeah, here we go. Did I? I don't think I did.
Oh, do I got to put it in?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do you see it? It's this thing down at the bottom. Or maybe I'm not. Wait, let me try this again. So I'm going to present. Oh, I hope I can share the screens. Otherwise, I'll just talk about them.
Okay.
So screen 1. Can I share? It says I'm sharing, but I don't see the share. There we go. Hey. Okay. So this is Trumpy Dumpy. This is his chart. And he has all of, he has all of his weird things going on. Come on, get bigger.
You know, my chart looks like that. Everything is
all in one place.
All in one place.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, you know, the way the planets move, we go through periods every couple of years where things kind of clump up and they're just kind of close together for quite a period of time. So everybody born during that period of time is going to have a chart somewhat like this. But when people have things kind of clumped up like this, it just means that in their life, they're really going to focus on a certain, area of life, a certain few areas of life. Like they're not going to be all over the place with stuff. They're really going to just focus. Now he has stuff in his chart where, you know, above the horizon line, everything's very, very public. And of course, his sun is up here in the 10th house. So of course, he was going to be famous for something. And then he's got Uranus. And as Andre had pointed out on one of his excellent shows on the Trump chart with, I think his name was Patrick Wilson, that his Uranus and Sun is so close together. And that's a hallmark of people basically who are crazy. So, so he's crazy. And a lot of people are crazy. I think he said that King George, the crazy king that we went to war with, he also had this. And I believe Rudy Giuliani, I don't know, we'll get to his chart. You know, I think he has that too. And also things are above the horizon in general. So he just likes to deal with the world. He just likes being out in the world and doing things. And of course, he likes to see himself on a stage. But he also has quite a few planets down here, especially like his moon is very important. Jupiter's very important. So these planets down here also show that there is a very active personal private life. That's things that are hidden from the world. And, you know, wouldn't you know it, he's a criminal. So of course he's got to hide things, right? Now, a big thing that I think about in Trump's chart is that he has Pluto in the 12th house. Pluto is the planet for corruption or destruction, transformation, power, big power. And the 12th house to me are things that are kind of forgotten in your life. People who are in hospitals or long-term care facilities, people in ashrams, people in monasteries, people in prison, people who are away for some reason, or people who live at a great distance from you, like your long lost cousin who lives in Antarctica that you're only going to see once in your life. So things that are forgotten. So my theory on Trump is that this little Pluto power thing here in his 12th house is showing me that he does not really know how to deal with his power. He's kind of forgetting about it. Like he's come to just take for granted that in his life, he is entitled to
with everything.
Exactly. And he really doesn't know how to deal with power, or he's just ignored it, just tried to forget it. So Trump, let me find my notes here. And I'll put these over here. Sorry, you're just going to see these for a minute, and I'll move these over. We'll get rid of that thing. Okay. So Trump, let me find this little thing here. What's going on right now? So one of the things that I looked at with him is what's going on with him now. And of course, everybody's watched Andre on your show, and we all know that he's got this, you know, Saturn thing that he's going through that's just really, really bad. But he also has some planets that are really funny that are going on. Like he has Mercury right now going just right now, right in this red hot moment, going through his first house. And Mars is there too. Well, Mars is our activity. It's our action. It's our physicality. And it's what we do, our actual doing things. And Mercury is talking. It's communication. So this guy can't shut up. All the planets are inspiring.
He's giving away everything.
He's given away everything. So that's not good for him. Yeah. And then he has Uranus up here coming up to his midheaven, which is his legacy, his destiny, his career. So Uranus is just edging closer and closer and closer. This is going to take probably another year to really get up here, because I think Uranus is retrograde right now. Is it retrograde? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not retrograde yet. It's going to be going retrograde. But as it gets closer to this little spot up here, that's bad for Trump, because that's even more unpredictable behavior. So once it hits that, you're going to see him go nutso.
Oh, he already is. He's going crayon. He's writing stuff. He's crazy.
He is. And he's going to go so badly nutso that they're really going to have to like take him in hand, put him away, bring him, you know, into the rubber room. They're not going to be able to handle it. And the other thing that is for us maybe a little bit delicious, but for him really bad, is that Jupiter, which is the planet that expands everything and makes it bigger, is following right behind it. So as crazy and chaotic as his life is now, it's going to be exploded even bigger and even crazier. So I would not want to be him. I just would not want to be him. He's not in a good way.
Well, as and I'm sure you saw this too, he had something in his planet that he was getting away with things all of his life. And I remember when I first had Andre, he said, you're going to see all of a sudden things start changing where he's not getting away with anything. And that's when he goes straight downhill.
And
so
I think
isn't there something going on with Pluto right now?
Well, Pluto, for our country, Pluto is sitting right on top of the country's natal Pluto, because our country is about 248 years old now, and it's going to be coming up on 250. Pluto is going to help us rewrite the Constitution, I think. I think it's literally going to kind of destroy what norms and guardrails that we had in place, guidelines, laws, etc. And it's going to force us to rewrite everything. And maybe not every single word, but a lot of things just have to be rewritten for now. I mean, everything from, social media to AI to, streaming and videos and, the internet, and the way, life has just changed so dramatically, and we have to protect ourselves.
Oh my
So it's going to be bad. Yeah.
I'm getting such a strong smell of a perfume.
Really?
And it's not my perfume, trust me.
I usually get strong smells. That's interesting that you're getting one.
I'm getting a real strong, not a perfume I recognize. It's not even that sweet. It's just, it would be a perfume that would irritate me if I was on a bus and somebody was wearing it. Huge, just huge right on top of me. Oh my God, what is that about?
That's a woman visiting you.
Yeah, maybe it's Trump's mother.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
she would wear something like that,
Absolutely.
Not something sweet, something that would make you nauseous.
Yeah. So that's him. And I also,
time-wise, when are you seeing like, ew, girl, it's bad?
I think in 2024, I think I heard you say this on, I think it was today, the show I was watching you on, that you didn't think he was going to make it to the convention to be named the candidate for the Republicans. And I have felt that for a long time, that I think that there's something that's going to prevent it. And I think that something is him being too crazy to be allowed out in public. He's just too dangerous. I mean, if you read... Yeah,
when
go ahead.
Washington, D.C. starts with, or Washington with the January 6th, the judge there isn't going to put up with him threatening murder for everybody. That's not right. He's threatening the families of the people, and he really thinks people are going to protest. Hello, they didn't protest in New York, and they didn't protest in Florida.
No.
So where are all the people coming from?
And you heard what they did in New York when he came for the E. Jean Carroll trial. They all lined up and said, New York hates you. New York hates you.
Not that I was singing along.
No, yeah, me neither. Well, I lived in New York when Trump was doing his all, Studio 54 and all his wives and doing all the hotels and everything. Nobody in New York likes this guy. Nobody takes him seriously.
My friend that was there, one of my first people I read when I started my YouTube, he's from New York. His name is Joe. And he said, let me tell you, anybody that's anybody can't stand that man.
No, you can tell he's a toddler in a big suit. I mean, he's just a nightmare.
He used to call the radio stations, pretend like it wasn't him, to act like, oh yeah, Trump is this and Trump is that. He's not a billionaire, never has been.
No, he never has been, but he convinces everybody that he has been. And he does it he uses the same technique as he uses to get loans out of banks. He lies. He just lies.
Yeah.
So, I used to be a cabaret singer, and I used to do the same thing that Trump did. I used to call up clubs and pretend like I was my own publicist. Hi, this is Penny. I'm calling, and I'm her publicist, and we're going to book her there. And it really worked, because you can publicize somebody else. It's hard to publicize yourself.
Right.
So I also had Rudy Giuliani's chart, and in his chart, I had, let me find, do I have the notes on this? I want to make sure that I get to the notes. Yeah, the notes. Okay. So Rudy has really bad stuff going on in his chart, and he does have the same thing as Trump with the sun and Uranus. So things are no bueno for Rudy. Now, what I saw with Trump and Rudy together because it's very interesting. These two men are both Geminis. They both have that Uranus thing going on with their sun. So they're both cray-cray, completely cray-cray. And Rudy's Saturn, because Saturn is such an important planet when it comes to someone's downfall.
I know.
And Rudy's, now this is transiting Saturn that I'm circling right here. This is where it is in the sky right now. And then Rudy's Saturn is up here, very close. You see where it says MC?
Yeah.
That's his destiny. That's his legacy. That's what he's going to leave behind in this lifetime. And you want Saturn not too close to that. You want it like over here, like in the 10th house. It makes one powerful and secure and a good leader and someone that everybody can look up to. But it can also, if you get too power hungry, you'll have a fall from grace. That's what Richard Nixon had. He had Saturn in the 10th house and he rose up. Everybody thought he was this great statesman. And then boom, we get Watergate and everybody goes, oh, I guess he's not so great. That's a fall from grace with Saturn. So Rudy is having his fall from grace with Saturn.
Oh.
He's falling and he can't get up because nobody wants to listen to him anymore.
What was the aspect of Saturn with Trump?
So Rudy's Saturn is on top of Trump's sun. So Rudy's Saturn is here at the end of Gemini. That's the same place that Trump's sun is in Trump's chart. So what happens with Trump is Trump's got Sun, Uranus, and his North Node, which is his calling, his mission in life, what he wants to really be. So Saturn squishes things, it restricts things, it holds things up, it delays things. So Rudy was never he was never lucky for Trump. He was never really good for Trump. He always had this Saturn thing that squelched him. And you might accept that for a little while if the guy's acting like your attorney. Oh, my attorney's telling me to do this or that, so I better say do what he says. But actually, with Rudy's chart, he's not very good for Trump. He's actually could bring him down. And also, Rudy has this Pluto and Mars right here, and that also sits on top of Trump's Pluto. And so they can achieve really great things together. They have almost nuclear power when they're working together. But as you can see, it's not really good power. It's like power for the bad.
Right.
So, but in the end, Rudy's going to dominate Trump. Now, where is this thing? The 11th house for Rudy, Trump's power. This is the 12th. Oh, yeah. So a lot of this stuff with the Pluto and Mars for Rudy falls into the 12th house, the house of forgotten things for Trump, and also connects with Trump's Pluto, where he doesn't do well with power. He doesn't really know how to use power. So this is an unequal relationship where Rudy is really, not that he's more powerful than Trump, but he suppresses any good instincts that Trump has, and he helps Trump make bad decisions.
Oh, he sure did.
Yeah, right. So Rudy actually becomes sort of a spy in the camp and kind of a secret enemy to Trump. The 12th house is also the house for secret enemies. So now one other thing, Rudy's Jupiter moon right here, which is great for him and allowed Rudy to rise to prominence and to become beloved. And everybody thought he was so great. But for that's sitting on Trump's Mars, which is his Trump's action and physicality and things. It could be friendly. It could make them feel like it's like a bros vacation the whole time they're together. They're just hanging out like frat brothers or something. But if it's not super friendly, which it sounds like their relationship is kind of turned, because from time to time, Trump has kind of badmouthed Rudy. He hasn't been very friendly with Rudy. And so this means then that Rudy really starts to take the advantage, because Rudy really is a lawyer. So he knows those legal things that you can and can't do without, getting arrested. And Trump doesn't. So in the way that they work together, Rudy is more secretive. He's more wily. And even though Trump has a lot of secret stuff going on, Rudy is even more so. He's even more secretive, more of a spy. And also Trump, one last thing on Trump is he was born during an eclipse. And people who are born under an eclipse have the ability or the destiny, I guess, to become really, really in the public eye. Like kings and queens are born on eclipses, right?
Wow.
Like William is born on an eclipse. His wife is born on an eclipse. King Charles was born on a partial eclipse, so he'll be a king for just a little while. His mother was born on an eclipse. So Trump was born on an eclipse. He has all this like royalty and popularity and high visibility in his chart, but he doesn't have the morals and he doesn't understand how to use power. So Trump is on a downfall because of that eclipse. And I think that his ending is going to be very, very public and very spectacular. So that's what I have.
Hold on 1 second. There's a stranger at my door.
Uh-oh.
She's smoking. She's got a bag. I'm not going to open the door.
I wouldn't.
I got to keep an eye on her, though.
Do you want to like do a 911 and have the police come or something?
Well, she's not. Hold on. Did she leave? Hold on. Yeah, I have no idea who this woman is. Wow. Sorry, you guys. She's got a bag. She looks like a homeless woman. She's got no teeth.
Why in the world would she be coming up to your door?
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely don't open it, but
no, I'm not going to open it. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like she's walking away. Let me check my other camera. Sorry.
Right. No, be safe.
I'm shaking a little bit.
You could call 911. Go ahead.
Okay, let me just see if she walked away. If she didn't, I'm going to call 911, you guys.
Sure.
I don't see her. I don't see her anymore.
Okay.
She might have walked away, but I wish I could see her walk away. Chain smoking, no teeth, wearing a heavy duty shirt in this heat.
Wow.
Hold on. Sorry, you guys. Sorry to put you on. Fortunately, we got nothing behind us. Let me look at my porch again.
Yeah, please.
How do I know? I just got this doorbell thing.
Oh, well, that's fortunate.
And how do I know if it's live? The dogs were really barking, which is
good. I heard it. Yeah, I heard the dogs, and that's unusual.
Let me show you guys. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh my God, she came up right to the camera.
She's carrying a bag. It looks like a bag with food in it. I've got signs all over the place saying, saying that you're on camera,
Wow.
Damn. Okay, well, you guys, she hasn't rang again. Did you hear? She was ringing and ringing.
Yeah.
So if I see her again or she comes back, I'll call the police.
Yeah, and I can just, rattle on about some other astrological
thing. Keep going.
Okay, so the next one that I have, let me share again.
Okay.
And this is going to be fun. I was really excited about this one. So this, I think you might have to do something.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, where'd it go? Okay, well, we'll try it again.
All right, try it again. When did that disappear?
It's funny. The share thing is funny on, do we try it again?
Let's try it again. There's nothing there, but let me see.
Huh.
No, it's not coming up.
Oh, there we go. I had to click on it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm learning too. All right, so this is a chart for Waltine Nata, the other co-defendant with Trump in the Mar-a-Lago documents case. And I got to tell you, it took me a while to figure out this guy's birth date. And I'm still not 100% sure that this is his birth date, but I'm going with it. Most of the websites are just like, oh, he was born either 1981 or 1982. I finally found the majority of them said 1982. And then one of them finally gave a birth date. So it's funny. He's an Aquarius, but a lot of the websites, when you look him up, they'll say he's a Gemini. He's not a Gemini. He's an Aquarius.
Okay.
And one of the things that I do, which is probably not good to do, but I can't resist, is I sort of try to figure out, if there's no time, what time might they be born? Like what rising sign would really fit them? And I know from doing a lot of charts about Trump associates that he loves men around him who have an air sign rising. I guess because he likes to talk. He likes to have conversation. And he's a Gemini. So, of course, he's talking a lot. He wants someone to talk back. So Lindsey Graham has I put him at a Libra rising because it fits his planets great. Rudy we actually have a birth time for Rudy. Rudy is a Libra rising. And I think Waltine Nata is too.
Oh,
now his sun sign is Aquarius. So his sun is down here in almost the bottom of his chart. And look at the way his planets go. All of his planets are along the bottom, right? So this is a person who does not want to be in the public eye. This is a person who wants to be more private, but he has just a mess of planets in his first house, if he really has this Libra rising. And I'm guessing so far. Right. But it really does fit. It puts his moon, no matter what, would be in Libra for when he was born. And when you look at him, he has people who have Libra rising are usually what we think of as aesthetically very good looking, very pretty.
I have a Libra rising.
Yeah. Very symmetrical features. And when you look at them, you just
like to eat.
Yes. And he does too. He's in food service, or he was originally. So I think the Libra rising really fits. But also he's had a very unusual life. And when you have a lot of planets in that first house, that usually influences the way things go in your life. So I think it kind of goes along with him having an unusual life. Now, he was born in Guam, as I said, 1982. And he joined the Navy in 2001 and worked as a cook in the Navy. Yeah. And in 2012, he started working for the White House, and it's the White House Military Office's Presidential Food Service. So he was a cook in the White House when he first started, and then he moved up to, I guess, server or butler or something. And when so he was there when Obama was there. He was in the White House when Obama was there. And when Trump came in, somehow Trump, came to his attention, and he became Trump's personal valet and body man. He accompanied him to Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster, all over the place, all this other stuff. But get this, towards the end of his Navy time, he started working for the Save America PAC for Trump.
Yeah.
And then Trump also put him on his 2024 campaign. So this guy is drawing a salary from Trump, from Save America, and from the campaign.
Money talk.
So this BS about him needing to keep his job, and that's why him and Trump have to be able to talk to each other during this complete BS. Now, there's even more to the story, though.
What?
If you look up his net worth, it ranges from anywhere. The lowest net worth that he comes in as is $6.7 million.
Oh, my God.
The highest net worth I found was $55 million. Today I saw one that said $30 million. So it's probably somewhere in between the 6.7 and the 55 million. But how do you make that much money on a naval salary as a cook?
I mean, yeah.
That's just.
Oh, you don't think Jack Smith is checking that out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got to be. And I'm sure that they're just hanging on to that little nugget for next time they want to.
Trump's paying for his or having somebody else pay for his attorney.
He's having the PAC pay for the attorney, and he's getting a salary from the PAC. So,
and that new guy they just announced on MSNBC, that the PAC has already put out $184,000 towards that guy.
I'm not surprised. I am just not surprised. So he's got a lot of planets in the first house here. He's got the moon, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, and Pallas Athena. Now, Pallas Athena is an asteroid that makes one really good at recognizing patterns. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it just is. It's just true. It's there. And he's got Mars, Saturn, Pluto in this little stellium. And I really do think that that explains his weird early life, you know, born in Guam. Then all of a sudden he finds himself in the White House. That's just a weird arc to anybody's life, I think. But it's just interesting. You know, he's got the moon in Libra, Libra rising. I think he'd get along with Trump really well if he is actually a Libra rising. Now, he has Saturn coming up to his 6th house, which means that his days of employment may be few. You know,
Really?
he's got Saturn coming into his house for work and work life and employment. Yeah. And I think, you know, he's got the ruler of his 9th house, which is where legal affairs are, is Mercury. And his Mercury is down here in Aquarius. Right now, Mercury is coming out of his 12th house. Again, secret enemies in the 12th house.
Wow.
Things that are forgotten. Oops, I forget. I don't know about those boxes. So, you know, he's got all this stuff. But all of these little planets transiting his 12th house in a month or two, or maybe 6 weeks, they're going to be coming over his ascendant. So my prediction for Walt Nata is it's going to take him about that long to start singing like a bird.
He will sing like a bird.
He will sing like a bird.
I almost felt like the other guy was going to sing like a bird.
I think so too. You know, it's funny. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I can't remember who was on, but we were doing, you know, cards about Trump. And I said, there's going to be another person who gets indicted, and that person is also going to sing like a bird.
Right.
But Walt's going to sing.
At a lot of time.
No, yeah. And
they got it on tape. They got their little thing on tape.
And these are young. Well, Walt Nata is a young man. He's 42 or 41 or something like that. Who wants to go to prison at that age? Now, the other guy is 56.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up doing some bad prison time, because when you're 56, that means you're coming up on your 2nd Saturn return. And I don't even have a birth date for this guy, but I can just tell from how old he is that he's going to have a 2nd Saturn return. And if he didn't do a lot of really great things in his life up to that point and was a good person, he's going to have excuse my French, but bad Saturn return.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. So that's Walt. And I just loved the thing about his net worth. I just thought that was like,
I love it.
Whoa,
and you know Jack knows about this, because they also look at the money.
It took me 5 minutes to find it on the internet. I'm sure he knows about it.
Hey, you guys, I just want to tell you that people said, did this woman leave? Yes, I actually watched her go down the way, and she went up the street.
Okay.
Definitely someone who's homeless.
So do you want me to do another chart?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Who else do I have?
Thank you guys for coming. 1,400 in the room, girlfriend.
Nice. So let's do Ivanka. So Ivanka.
With her girlfriend.
What did
I love this stuff. I hate it. I hate to tell you guys, but I love this stuff.
Yeah. So most astrology sites don't know her birth time. They put it at noon. And actually noon isn't too far off from what I think. But if you put it back towards 11:30, it gives her a Capricorn rising, and it puts her sun and a couple of other things in the 10th house. But more importantly, it puts her moon in the 11th house. Now, the moon, first of all, is for women, it's a lot about how we express our femininity, our feminine side. For men, it is too. But women usually it's more acceptable in our society for women to be more expressive with their femininity.
Yes.
So it's stronger for most women just because of our society, not because of astrology. And so she's got an interesting thing where her dad has Uranus close to his sun, which is the masculine planet. Her Uranus is close to her moon, which is the feminine planet. So she has kind of a little bit of what her dad has with that Uranus. Uranus can bring excitement. It can be eccentric. It can be chaotic. It can be electric. And she really plays on her sexuality, right? Her dad has taught her to do that all her life.
Yeah.
Told her she's beautiful, and he'd date her if she wasn't his daughter. And I mean, just weird stuff, you know. But that Uranus now next to her moon, this has given her a gift in the business world, because this is not a business person. She's smart in other ways, but business ain't one of them.
Okay.
she's calculating, she's shrewd, she's a Scorpio, and her sun is in the 10th house where she can
and
be.
she even tries to talk like Marilyn Monroe with that
Exactly. Exactly.
And I heard backstage at The Apprentice, she swore like a sailor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's got a whole mob of planets in her 9th house, which is, foreign things and the publishing industry and the internet and things like that. So she's got a lot of stuff going on there, not the least of which is her Mercury in Libra, which would cause her to be a little phony. Air signs, I should know because I am an air sign. Sometimes we can be very superficial and even phony, or we lie, or just because we like the things to be like Libra. A lot of Libras just don't like conflict. So they'll lie. They'll just sugarcoat the truth so much that it is a lie just because they want things to go okay. I know this about myself, and I really try to keep myself in line, but not all Libras do. And that's her Marilyn Monroe thing right there. That's just a phony put on. This is the way I want it to go. But the reason hers is so extreme is because she's got Pluto right there. Anything that Pluto is next to, it makes it very, very extreme, but also very powerful. So she uses it as a weapon. She literally has weaponized her voice, that breathy voice, to kind of mesmerize men, because in the business world, she's around men primarily. And so for her, what's going on with her now is that, well, Pluto has been sabotaging her first house for like the last 20 years. So even though she's tried to make it really a name for herself outside of her family's name, it's not going to happen. And if she manages to avoid prison, it might happen in maybe 5 or 10 years, because by then Pluto will have really cleared and she'll be able to build things up again. I think, though, that, she also has a lot of stuff in the 12th house, very secretive. She's got Venus and Neptune there. Neptune is the shadiest, like, let me hide everything from you. Let me pull the wool over your eyes. Let me pull a fast one. Let me do a con job. And in the 12th house, secret enemies and things we'd like to forget about, things we want to avoid. So she's got kind of
she's a Scorpio.
Yeah, and she's a Scorpio to boot. So this woman, I would not trust her with a 10-foot pole. She's really, I just would not trust her. Now, her planetary arrangements, though, in general, with all of her, transits and stuff, Saturn is opposing her Mars, so that's thwarting things. But she's still getting out of some certain legal things. Like she got out of that New York thing. She separated herself, so good for her. But I don't think it's going to really keep her out of all the rest of the stuff. I think that, as Saturn comes up here over the next few years, it's going to start to have some other
effects on her.
Yeah, bad aspects with other.
Well, they're already being booed out of New York. They can't go anywhere because she wanted respect. She wanted to be something special.
Mm-hmm.
And I read the book from the assistant to Melania.
Oh, did you?
And Melania turned on her assistant. Anyway, long story short, remember when Melania went up and told that speech and it was Michelle Obama's speech?
Yes.
Word for word.
Yeah.
Ivanka was the one that did that.
Yeah. See, there's a special place in hell for women who really mislead and treat women like that. That is just, you don't do that to somebody else.
And Trump didn't lay into her. She thought it was funny that she went out there and said that whole speech.
Yeah. Well, this is, she has a connection with her dad. Both of them have a Sagittarius moon. It's a very unserious moon. They are big jokesters. They can be cruel to the point of bringing you to tears and still turn around and go, what? I was just joking.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? They like their freedom. I can't believe she's still married to Jared. She's got a Sagittarius moon. Her dad, by this time in his life, had already had 2 wives.
Yeah.
So I think that, she'll probably, if she doesn't go to prison, she'll divorce Jared as soon as she can.
Did you look at Jared at all?
I did look at Jared. Let's pull him up. So let's look at Jared. There's Jared.
Well, I always saw going to prison.
Yes, I did too, always, because it's his, in the Greek tragedies, when, they suffer the sins of the father, it's his hubris. It's, it's what he's going to have. He's going to have the same thing as his dad. Now, where's my little notes on him? Don't forget anything juicy. So he doesn't have a time, but I've put him just generally at midnight, and that would give him a Libra rising, but I don't think he really has Libra rising. So his Saturn, let's see, if we did give him a midnight time, that would put his Saturn and Jupiter at his rising sign, which might be right because he has that weird look to him.
Yeah, almost like a Virgo too.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, Virgo, that could be it too. So I'm not quite sure what his rising sign is, but I do think that this Saturn with Jupiter together makes him actually terrible with money, terrible for attracting money. And so he worries about it constantly. So a lot of him being so thin, I think is just anxiety. I just think he has a tremendous amount of anxiety. And his Jupiter is pretty close to Pluto. Now, if they're really close, that's the sign for a millionaire. And he is a millionaire. I mean, he does deal with a lot of money, but he's not a person who just attracts money to him. He has to do something for it. And he's got down here, his Mercury and Sun are conjunct. They're right together. So this is a guy who can talk and do salesmanship and just talk, but it exhausts him because his Sun and his Mercury are too close together, and it like fries his brain to keep doing it. So this is a person that he'll have long periods of time where he just can't do any of that stuff. And then when he gets ready to do it, he's just doing it nonstop for like a month.
Yeah.
So, that's his life.
I don't even think he likes Donald Trump. I'll be honest with you.
They were Democrats when they lived in New York.
I think they were shocked when he won.
Yeah, they all were. They were all just, oh my God, what do we have to do now?
Yeah. But they wanted the power. They wanted it. They wanted, like somebody said, she wanted to be first lady, Ivanka.
Yeah. Yeah. She was totally ready to just throw Melania, bump her out of the way with her hip and let her roll under a bus. She could care less, which is really alarming that Trump would allow that to be so obvious. If they were anywhere near normal political family, that would have been covered up, but he couldn't even do that.
No.
Yeah. But so anyway, Jared's a weirdo. He's got moon in Pisces, which makes him just basically a weirdo in that very fire and air configuration that everybody else in the Trump orbit has.
Yeah.
They're all very fiery, very airy. They actually don't deal with reality. They're all just passion. Everything is just heightened emotions. Whereas Jared,
also really ugly. They just love to tear people.
Yes, it's just terrible. And Jared has this poor moon and he must just live on Tums or antacids, this poor guy, because I just can't believe that. Not that I'm saying he's a really good person. I don't think he's a really good person. No. But I do think that he suffers a lot from anxiety. I think it's just he just must. It's just not good.
So
go ahead.
Did you ever look at Jack Smith, or it's hard to get?
I did. I don't have a rising sign for him because I don't have a sign, but I do have his chart.
Does he look okay?
Oh yeah, he's looking good. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, I can pull it up from here really quick. Where do we go here? I'll just type it in.
There he is.
Yep. There he is. Okay, so here's Jack. And he's also a Gemini.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, so he's chasing another Gemini. Now, Jack has his Sun and his Mercury close, but not right on top of each other. So he has a very quick mind. He can handle 40 million topics all at the same time and keep track of them. He does not have the problem that Jared has where he just like goes bananas with it. He's very, very balanced. But look at this. His Jupiter, Pluto, and Uranus are in a very tight configuration. Uranus is, Jupiter rather, is the law, the courts, justice, being very fair, but also joy and happiness and luck. And he has Pluto, which is power. It's being very serious and intense about things. This is Jack, right? And then Uranus is brilliance, connected to the gods, connected to the inspiration of the angels. So this is a person who can talk without speaking. He can communicate without saying any words, and people will understand exactly who he is. And as you've seen, anytime you see a picture of him, it's 1,000 words. I mean, you look at it, you go, whoa, that is a person. That is a person to be reckoned with. Because he just has this gravitas that is well beyond his years, but you take him seriously. You just know he knows what he's talking about.
Somebody on Twitter said, Jack Smith isn't out to screw with Trump. He's out to screw with Eileen Cannon.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
But he's out telling you, once they get in New York, it's going to be a whole different story. Because I feel that he really is put off by Trump threatening. Do you know how much money the United States government's having to spend to protect all these people who are working on these cases, including the grand juries?
Probably hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. It's just, that's a lot.
But I don't know, being that he's a Gemini, you know how Geminis can kind of step outside the emotional part.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he wants this guy to go. And what they want to keep hitting him. So what I'm feeling is just what you said. Trump will just go cray-cray.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell the judge, Your Honor, this man is, wanting me to be assassinated, blah. And the judge is going to say, no, we got to lock you up. We'll lock you up.
Yeah. And I do think that that's what they'll have to do. I've seen, unfortunately, in my life, I've seen up close and personal several people who have really lost it like that. And Trump is following that same pattern.
Yeah.
You can see just
was
a
there
little
a lot of anger with those people?
Yes, a lot of anger. And, they'd let out almost like a tick, like somebody who has Tourette's, like a tick. They would let something out and then they'd recover. They'd be like, oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, I'm sorry. And that would happen for a few months. And then the outbursts would get a little stronger and then they wouldn't take it back. And then the outbursts would get really strong. And at that point, you're like calling 911 and getting them committed because they're too far gone. And that's what I see with Trump.
I had my ex-husband here. He's doing fine now. But while he was here, he was talking to himself. He was being real inappropriate. I had to get him out. I was worried.
Yeah. And it is an illness. You know what I think, honestly, and I have said this to a few people, and you're going to laugh at this. I think, Trump spent all those years at Studio 54 doing drugs, doing whatever that they did in New York. I think the man has a serious venereal disease, and I think it has eaten his brain. I think he's got like a case of syphilis that's never been diagnosed, and I think it's just eaten his brain because
he's even worse since he became president.
Yes, and that's what happens with those diseases. So I mean, I say it a little bit facetiously, but it might be true.
Well, Don Jr. is definitely on drugs, correct?
Oh yeah.
Mr.
Air quotes.
So
yeah.
I know you didn't plan to do the whole hour just on astrology, but I'm dying to know, do you have a little look-see at Putin?
I have done Putin before, and Putin is really locked up with Trump. Let me pull up his chart.
I think he really hopes he wins. But they can't go in there and make it cheap because the Democrats are holding the White House. So they can't, like with Trump in, he would have made sure,
Yeah.
Trump, honest to God, thought he was going to win. He could not believe that he lost.
Yeah. He was floored. Just as he was a million times surprised about winning the first time, he was a million times surprised about losing.
He had it in the back. Of course, he's got all his homies around him telling him, you're the best, you're going to win, you're this, you're that now.
Well, and that's the optimism of a child. A child gets one thing and then they think they're always going to get that thing. That's a person who just cannot face reality. So, well, here's Putin's chart, and Putin is a little bit different in his chart than Trump. He's got things a little more spread out, but right now Saturn is over here, which this little guy where it says IC, this is right across the sky from the MC. So the MC is your destiny, your career, your legacy, what you're going to be known for. And the IC is your interior world, your internal life, your personal life, your domestic life. And so Saturn right now is really bedeviling his personal life. So this could be giving him, you know, illness, these severe illnesses that we've all heard about. It could be giving him a lot of fear and paranoia, because Neptune is also down here in Pisces right now, transiting his fourth house. So not really great for Putin. Now he's got this sun really in the 12th house. It's just before the 12th house. And he's also got Saturn, Neptune, and Mercury. So this little combo right here spells paranoia plus. This is a man who is so paranoid.
Well, now they're saying, we don't know if it's true, but they're saying the mafia's put a hit out on him. On Putin.
Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. And, you know, there's a lot of mafias in the world. So, you know, you throw a dart, you're going to hit a group. So, yeah. And he's another one. Ego really drives him. He's got Venus in the first house. Ego is everything for him. But for his career, he's got Pluto up here, which is not the planet for spies, but it certainly helps if you're going to be a spy. And this made him a very, very powerful person in the world. Unfortunately, he's got a bad aspect with Jupiter. His Jupiter is, where's his Jupiter? Over here in his 7th house. Now, the 7th house is your open enemies and your partners. So think of all the people who become divorced. That spouse becomes an open enemy, right? So Jupiter and Pluto are at a harsh angle. They're at 90 degrees angle. So he has always had to deal with his own power and how that affects his partnerships, both in business and in romance. And I think he's had a couple of marriages. I don't think he's had one long marriage.
And you know, Revealing Light, the Australian
yes,
she talked about a story that she actually had knew a woman. She didn't say if she was a friend, who was a press person or wrote an article about Putin that he didn't like. And he asked to see her on his birthday.
Ew.
So she went to wherever he was located on his birthday and literally took out a gun and shot her in the head.
Oh my God.
And said that was his birthday present.
Oh, that is a sick pup.
And this is from Revealing Light. She told the story. I remember I was so shocked.
Oh, that is shocking. That is really shocking. Well, fortunately, I don't think he's long for this world. I think him and Trump, I feel, have almost like an umbilical cord between them. They're really tied together. Yeah. And I think, you know, this is why he wants Trump to get into the White House. But, you know, he's an air sign. He's a Libra. Trump's a Gemini. He's an air sign. So I can see how they'd kind of have a thing. But I think this is all about power. I don't think this is a real friendship, as Trump likes to say. But I think that
Trump is, like you said, a child. I mean, he kept saying, you know, as president, I can pretty much do anything I want. You know that, don't you? Like he's surprised.
Yeah, like he's an 8-year-old. I mean, this guy, I don't know how he has functioned all this time. It's just amazing to me. It's just amazing. So, oh gosh.
And let's see. Okay, we did Putin. We did Trump.
I have Fani Willis. You want to see Fani?
Yes, let's take a look. Yeah. Yes, please. That'll be our last one.
Yes,
because I have to feed my son.
You got it. We will do one more for Fani Willis. She's got a great chart.
Oh, good.
There she is. And we'll do that.
She's Scorpio?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
She's a Scorpio. So here's Miss Willis. Now, I don't have a birth time for her, but as you can see, her moon and her Mars are both in Aquarius. And we don't know. I mean, her moon may be a little closer or a little further away. I'm guessing that I really think she might have a Gemini rising, which would put these in her 10th house, which is her career. And the reason I think that these two planets would be in her 10th house for career is because people who have the moon in the 10th house are very often in the public eye in some way. I mean, they don't all have to be attorney generals, but they could be just someone who deals with the public, sales, for instance, but they're going to be in the public eye, and the public's going to accept them and appreciate them, and they're going to be popular in the public eye. So these are the people that always get the, you know, Salesman of the Year award and stuff like that. Right. And then she's also got Mars there, and she has had quite a bit of controversy in her career. And I think that's because of the Mars, because she's pushy, she's aggressive, she's very sure of herself. And both of these planets being in the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius is very unemotional. So they would expect, this is all about how people expect women to behave, right?
Oh,
They
yeah,
expect women to be,
yes.
yeah. So when women come off very logical and detached and unemotional, they think, oh my God, they're frightened. And they also want to criticize her. So
yeah, and Trump's trying to get her out. And they said, you can't get her out.
Exactly. The thing that I love about her, though, she is famous now for prosecuting more RICO cases successfully than probably anyone, at least anyone outside the New York area. They may have prosecuted as many, but she has prosecuted a lot of RICO cases, and that's the way she's prosecuting Trump's case. So I think she's going to be successful.
It's going to be beautiful, you guys.
It is.
I just feel like boom, boom, boom.
It is.
And it's more than one person. I think Jack might start off with Trump, but he'll actually add more to the.
I have. We're going to have to do another show. I have so many lists of people, another row of people who are going to go, and then another row of people who are going to go.
Well, invite me to your show if you'd like too.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. So the Gemini rising would also put Saturn and Pallas Athena in her first house. And now Saturn, that's the taskmaster. She's very serious. For a Gemini rising, she would be a very serious Gemini. But also Saturn on her first house would make her short. And she is actually pretty short.
Yeah.
So that's the Saturn would restrict her height. But then she's got the asteroid Pallas Athena, which is all of our patterns. Excellent for an attorney who's doing big, large cases, trying to keep all those patterns straight. And I believe Jack Smith also had a prominent Pallas Athena. It's that patterning, being able to see those patterns and then link them to the cases or the laws that they've broken.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Her Venus is conjunct Mercury. That makes her very well spoken and very pleasant voice, very easy to listen to her. Yeah. It's close to her sun. So she's speaking from her heart. She's telling you what she really believes. So always truthful. Even though she's a Scorpio, she's always going to be truthful. If she doesn't say it, it's because she can't say it.
Okay.
Like she's really, she's only going to tell you what she can really say. And then she's got Neptune conjunct, where it is, Neptune conjunct Jupiter. And that would put these two planets in her house for partnerships and open enemies. And we all know she's got a lot of open enemies. So I think this all makes very much sense. Also, Neptune in her seventh house would make her very private about her private life.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've ever heard about her private life is that she has 2 daughters. I've never heard anything else. So that's what I have on Fani Willis, and I think she's going to be very successful.
Speaking of cray-cray, did you happen to take a quick glance? Sorry, you guys, I got to ask.
Yeah.
A quick glance at RFK Jr. Does he have the cray-cray in his?
I have not done his birth date. I'm sorry.
The next time we get together, let's do that.
Yes, absolutely. That would be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This was fun. I had a good time.
I had a great time. And thank you guys for putting up with whoever was at my door. That was uneasy.
I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad nothing happened. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, well, thank you. I'm sorry, everybody. I was very bad in the chat. I hardly said anything to anybody, but thank you so much for being here.
It was 1,560. That's what
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I hope at least 3 of you go to my channel and subscribe.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. We'll talk later. Cheers. Bye. And this is my Sterling weekend. So.
Oh, good. I'll tune in. All right.
So did I end the broadcast?
No, we're still live.
Oh, sorry.